best way to deal with that. How do men deal with pain? Two ways that men deal with pain. When you look at, I love basketball. Anybody else besides me love basketball? I watched KD when he got hurt. He was so anxious to get back in the game that he tried to heal faster than he actually healed. And what happened was, because he didn't give himself the proper time, he re-injured himself even further. And that's what we as men do when we're hurting. We do it two ways. We either try to just act like it didn't happen, because from when we were little boys, we were told not to even deal with our hurt. And I've learned, especially as pastor now for 7 years, whatever you don't confront, you will never conquer. I don't care what it is, whatever you don't confront, you will never conquer. And the other thing that, when it comes to pain, I'll use yours because this thing keeps going on. When men deal with pain, when men deal with pain, we try to act as if it didn't happen. We try to act as if it's not there. And what begins to happen to us as men, we find ourselves in a position of being not true to who we really are. Because in relationships, I've been with my wife now 29 years. Been with her 29 years. And being a church musician, I'm originally a drummer. I grew up in church playing drums and traveled all over the world with Bishop Walker, did a whole lot of stuff. Getting in relationships, or what I thought was relationships, was never a problem. Because in church, and this is no disrespect to the young ladies that are in church girl standards were always very low. Very low. I never had to take a church girl to dinner to sleep with her. I never had to spend any money on her to sleep with her. All that mattered was I was the one up front. I was the one up front, and even when I left church, I started playing secular music. I went out and I was on tour with Faith Evans, the Lost Boys, and so many other artists. It was even worse out there. Girls were doing stuff to me just to meet Mr. Cheeks. It's like, I'll do this for you if you just take me back there to meet Cheeks. And you know, I'm like, all right, let's go. But I didn't know that all those processes and all those partnerships that I formed was killing me. Because what happens, if I didn't tap into who I was supposed to be as a man, which number one, requires discipline. A real man is disciplined. Because especially in the church with this onslaught of homosexuality at an all-time high, heterosexual men are becoming an endangered species. And you have a lot of young ladies that will deal with you even though you're in a relationship. This doesn't mean much to a lot of people anymore. And if you're undisciplined, you'll just keep coming. You'll keep accepting, you'll keep eating, and you keep eating, and you'll be killing yourself from within. And then once you do get into a healthy relationship, you're so messed up, you're no good to anybody. And the main reason is men don't deal with pain because we don't have the option to be honest. Because when you're honest, even in worship, you're looked at as being weak. When you're in worship, if you cry, folk want to know why. The tears you see are not tears of sorrow. These are tears because God's been faithful. I don't have nobody here. When you see me worship, it's not because I'm broke. It's because I remember what God did for me this week. And tears are the outward expression of inward emotion. I can't hold it. I'm a crier. But in church and in society, we're looked at as being weak if we show that. we're being looked at, and people are wondering why we're lifting our hands, why we're worshiping, why we're doing that. Nowhere is it really safe for men. Because the responsibility is for us to always present as we got it together, and the truth is we don't. We don't have an option to be off as men. As the man, as the head, I always got to have the provision. As the man, as the head, I always got to have the answer. Where do I go when I don't know what to do? Who can I talk to as an alpha male and unclothe myself and tell the truth about my scars and what I'm going through without it being weaponized against me? Even in my marriage. Because most women will tell you they want you to be honest, but if I'm honest, will you use it against me? That's right. And that's what has happened to men when we do tell you the truth. Picture this. I'm married to Dr. Cheryl. And I come home, and I'm like, Dr. Cheryl, I was on the train. This young PYT told me I look like a snack. Am I that comfortable with my wife that I can be honest? Because here's the thing. There is only one way to identify desire, and that is pursuit. That's good. I'll say that again. There's only one way to identify desire. What do I do as a man when I feel the pain of no pursuit from my mate? Because when we dated you, you don't come with scars on. When we're dating you and we're sleeping with you, you wear boy shorts and thongs. But when we marry you, you come home in the summertime to cotton onesie. Hair not done. You smell like you've been working all day. What happened to that good perfume you used to wear? And then your expectation is for me to turn off who God made me. How about that? I don't teach the men in my church to pray that God takes your sexual desire away, because you will never get the answer to that prayer. God is not an Indian giver. He gave it to you so you could utilize it at the proper time. But your job as a woman is to keep me engaged when you and you only have my attention.
Yes, sir.
Because what happens if you're not a wise woman, every woman in here wants a BMW. A black man working.
Okay.
And when you're a black man working, you are attracted to more than your wife. True. Matter of fact, I don't want nobody that I'm only attracted to. I walk out the block with my wife, I like to see other men checking her out. That's right. Because in my mind, I'm like, you want it, but you can't have it all. I'm getting that tonight. That's right. Could you imagine you walking down the street with your husband and wife, and ain't nobody checking them out? That means you got a gun. That means you got a brick. You understand? But what has happened in our relationship, especially in the church, we have programmed one another how to be ostentatious. In this type of atmosphere, I've been watching some of y'all all day. Y'all are so uncomfortable. Not everybody, but some of y'all are twitching in your seats. When the truth is, the fact of the matter is, some of y'all are masturbating. Some of y'all did have premarital sex. Some of y'all still having premarital sex. I ain't gonna get no amen to that. Amen. Some married people in here are having open relationships. Do you think that stuff only happens outside the church? Not at all. The church is where some of the sickest and craziest people are. You don't go to the hospital to see someone that's well. You go to the hospital to see someone that's sick. But what we do, we have that church face. I see some of y'all with it today. And what happens when deliverance is presented to you in another way, when there's no truth of the matter is, everybody in here is broken in one way or another. But what we have to understand about the scriptures, God never blesses anything before he breaks it. So when you can admit your brokenness, you will be blessed and empowered. But if you don't admit that you're broken, you're going to miss the moment to get not just made whole, but to be healed.
Yes, sir. Good. Yes, sir.
Because nobody knows you like you know you. One of my favorite writers, George Bernard Shaw, said it this way: in order to find out who a person is, find out what they're doing when nobody's looking. I know y'all all fronting here like you don't deal with none of this stuff, but what do you do when you all alone? And the older crowd, it's easy for you to have that testimony now and tell us that are younger to rebuke our flesh when your flesh don't work no more. Don't you know that God already knows what you struggle with before you ever admit it? All he's waiting for you to do is come clean and say, God, I'm doing it because I like it. I like the way it feels. I like the way it tastes. And if you don't deliver me, I'll never stop doing it until I die. I know some of you can't handle this level of honesty, but this is where you're going to be delivered at. You got to open up your mouth and let God know I'm in it and I like it. And if you don't help me, I ain't never going to stop. I know you got your title. You got to sit here and be pretentious. And oh, it's a sin. It's a sin. Stop it. Stop it. You are struggling with it. And every struggle ain't a struggle. Some stuff I love. Being honest with yourself and being honest that, you know, when you're a man and dealing with young ladies, especially in church, I hate to pick on, but my whole life I've been in church. All of my failures were in church. All the rumors out on me were in church. The thing that I was victorious in was in church. So if I'm going to get help, I got to get help from church. Because this is my life. I made a vow to the Lord, and I ain't taking it back. I got balance. Because now I'm free in my thinking. It's all right for me and my wife before marriage. That's why some of us have a problem being faithful, because the people we're dating and we're married to never took time to find out what our appetite was. That's right. Do you really think my wife put this ring on my finger changed my appetite? You're looking at a guy at any given time in church, at least 7 to 8 chicks. And I was open about it. They all know about each other. Because we date wrong in the church. That's right. That's right. Because if I'm dating you, I don't date you. You. Now, should I? No. That's right. But I could. Right. Because in the church, when I date you, quick handcuff. That's right. Right. You're giving me all the responsibilities and the blessings of a wife without covenant. So why should I marry? Right. Why would I marry? Right. I want you ladies in on the secret. The men only marry the one that says no. Right. Men will only honor the one that has standing. That's right. I feel like I'm at church. Tell somebody, give me some Bible. Come on, y'all say, give me some Bible. Give me some Bible. Matthew 25. The parable of the master with the talents. The problem is, all of you have to start demanding certain things in relationships. Yes. When you're a giver, you should demand receiving. Absolutely. The master in Matthew 25, he gave out talents. Yeah. And everybody doubled up except the one that he gave one to. Right. And when he came back and said, yo, what did you do with what I gave you? He said, I took it and I hid it and I put it up for you. And the master looked at him and said, you wicked, evil servant. If you didn't know what to do with what I gave you, why didn't you take it and give it to one of the ones who did? Right. Now get out of here, you rebuked. Yeah. Right. All because he had a demand. Mm-hmm. How long are you going to keep giving without having demands? Yes. Yes. How long are you going to keep giving of yourself without having demands? Mm-hmm. Do you think your body is worthless? My. You have, the woman in here, I'm going to let you know a secret. You are so powerful, nothing legal can come into this realm unless it comes through one of you. My God. My God. Well, anything that comes into this earthly realm that does not come through one of you is illegal. That's how powerful God made you. And let me just help you. It's not about the sex. That's right. Come on. Because men can get sex from anybody. It's about, can you take this man and build him? Wow. That's right. Can you take this man that has a dream and turn it into a vision of reality? That's who we want. That's who we need. We don't need you to just be a jump off. Come on. And contrary to what we hearing, side chicks ain't really women. Because at the end of the day, the pain of maintaining a sinful lifestyle is so expensive. It's so expensive. So men deal with pain 2 ways, guys. You deal with it by either trying to quickly manage it and jump right back into what we normally do, which means we're not being honest. Because if I'm hurt, I'm hurt. And the worst thing that you can do to a man, young ladies, is minimize my truth. Wow. Say that. If I say it hurt me, don't tell me I'm a man, it didn't hurt. Yes, it did. But then when you hurt, I gotta sit there and watch you and watch Lifetime with you. Go to Walmart with you and go into the tapestry section. We gotta go through all this, but when I'm hurt, just get over it. No, I'm not over it. Man up, no. I don't want to man up. I want to talk about it. Because men nowadays are, and some of you might not know what this means, but for me as myself, I'm a sapiosexual. So I'm not turned on by the outside pulpit to the owner. Because you can look like Barbie and be a dummy. Can you have a decent conversation? Can you handle the fact that I'm a 45-year-old man, debt-free, homeowner, good credit, 4 businesses? What you bringing to the table? A body? What that mean? I can take a girl that's like this and go pay for what you got. That means nothing to me. Y'all don't want to be honest. Nowadays, y'all remember a store? I remember a store when I was hanging out with my daughters years ago called Build a Bear.
Yes.
You can build a woman if you were out. You're just interested in that. Hips, lips, and fingertips. You pay for that. But once you get past all that, what's up here? Because you don't want to get a nice apartment with no furniture. So the way that men deal with pain in a way that is going to be productive to the entire household, because here's the thing, at this stage now, I'll be 46 Monday, guys, and I'm no longer chasing destiny. I'm chasing legacy.
I know that's right.
I'm chasing what I'm going to leave behind for my children, and now my 3 grandchildren. I know I don't look that old, but that's just good water and just for men. Some of y'all got to hit y'all around. A lot of us hit your water and just for men. Y'all not saying that. I know ain't the only one because I've seen some of y'all in Friday. Don't do it. Y'all trying to make me feel bad because the devil is alive. I say it in Friday. It's medium brown. Some of you was in the Beijing section, number 57. Come on here. Don't do it. Or you just get like Martin, just cut it all off. It don't matter. But in all sincerity, guys, we need safe spaces. Because I said it earlier, but men will even go against God for you.
That's true.
Men will go against God for the right one. Give me some Bible, Pastor. In the book of Genesis.
That's true.
Adam went against a direct order from God. All because Sister Eve came on in and said, now watch this. She tells, look how silly he was. And how silly she was, because the serpent comes and tells her, the only reason why God don't want you to eat this fruit is because he doesn't want you to be like him. But if you go to the first chapter of Genesis, if he made us in his image, we were already like him. We were all, so the enemy tricked you into making you think you weren't who you already. How many of us have got tricked? Because the right person got in our ear and was able to get us to believe that we were not who God already said we were. Samson, Nazareth, not even his mother and father knew the secret to his strength. When the angel of the Lord came to Noah's wife, he just told her, you're a Nazareth. He gave instructions, don't eat this kind of meat, don't drink this strong drink. And whatever you do, don't cut his hair. She didn't know why. God never told his mother or father why. He said, don't do it. But Samson knew. Here comes Delilah. And look at this, y'all. She never slept with Samson. All she did was put him in her lap and stroke his ego. You can get anything you want from a man if you just know how to stroke my ego. Tell you this quick story. When all my kids were home, my wife, before we got our house, she used to make me do the laundry. Notice what I said, make me. I didn't want to do it. But I caught on to how powerful my wife was one day, because when all my kids were home, we had 4 big bags of laundry. So she's like, babe, you need some clothes. Don't you go to the laundry? I'm looking at her, I don't go to no laundry. She said, please. I said, all right, I'll go. So I take one bag and put it up on my shoulder. And I walk into my truck, and she just says, Could you look carrying that bag? And before you knew it, I had all 4 bags in my bag. And I didn't realize what she did. I got to the Lord and I said, you know what? You look real to me. I didn't look real carrying a bag. You just wanted that laundry done. But the key is she knew what to say and how to say it. Because you got to figure out, ladies, when it comes to us men, you want resistance or results.
Good.
Because if you become my opponent instead of my partner, I'll fight you to the bitter end. And then you can't get mad when Sister Susie down the block starts sniffing around because she sees your abuse. Because other women know when you neglected your man. Because when I'm not happy, I don't know how to not show it.
That you got it. Yes, sir.
Especially in church. You got some bloodhounds in there. Oh, Pastor King. Oh, Pastor, I just made you a cake today. Really? Nah, I don't trust that. And I never eat, see, I'm from the South, I never eat spaghetti that other woman made.
Amen.
Y'all don't know about that.
I'm from the South too.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't little spaghetti sauce that they put in there. But if you're going to allow the man to be healed, yeah, y'all never heard of that? That woman that want to trap men, they take their menstrual cycle and put it together. And if you eat it, you'll never leave it. That's witchcraft. Yeah. So if you ever want your man to be healed from pain, listen to me, ladies. Create a safe space for him. Because men respond when they're safe. Men will tell you everything you need to know. Notice I didn't say men will tell you everything. Because a wise man will never tell you everything. Come on, brothers. I'll say to my wife, there's something I'm taking to the grave. I ain't got a clap when you sit next to your wife. My wife ain't here. I'll say, yeah, there's some things I'm taking with me to the grave. And the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is finding accountability partners. Amen. Because what happens as men, you need, especially those of us that are leaders, and I believe that all men are leaders, you don't need a bunch of yes men around you. Because your real friend, watch this, will become an enemy to your struggle.
That's good.
Friends don't encourage you to fall. Friends become an enemy to you fall. And in church, what we do, we get covering mixed up with condoning.
Yes.
I'll cover you, but I'll never condone what you do. That's wrong.
Right.
Because guess what? Your future depends on it.
Yes.
I gotta love you enough to tell you, hey man, you gotta honor your family, bro. I don't hang around men that don't take care of the kids. We ain't got nothing in common, bro. Don't cry to me about no child support. You should have been more responsible. I don't want to hear that. I don't baby men. Pay up, brother. Or stay from around me. We need people around that's going to hold us to be accountable. Because if I am looking at all these guys in here that got these bald heads, right? And I'm sitting up there, I see you turn around, talking to you right there. I see you all moving up, right there. Yeah, he turned around, the big guy, right there, talking to you, bro. I was sitting up there looking at you, low-key hating on you. You know why? Because a few years ago, I tried to shave my head just like that. And it didn't look as good as you look, bro. It ain't nothing funny about me, I'm just telling you.
Yes, boy.
But as I was looking and getting jealous, the Lord reminded me of this. And I'm going to sit down with this. If I spend my life being jealous of you, instead of celebrating as another man that's trying to honor who God has called you to be, I rob the gift of who God put me to be on this earth. I rob myself. I rob my family. I rob you guys inside of me. So instead of me looking at you being jealous, I ought to celebrate you.
That's right.
Because guess what? Just as great as you are, I might not look as good as you with a bald head. I ain't doing too bad with this mohawk. You understand what I'm saying? We got to learn how to celebrate each other.
That's right.
Because that's another way that we get past pain. If we start to celebrate each other and uphold each other. And above all, guys, can we start praying for one another?
My goodness. Yes.
And not P-R-E-Y.
Yeah.
P-R-A-Y-I-N-G. Praying for one another.
Yeah.
That God will call us to be who we need to be.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Bless you.